Oops, looks like you got a 0 on the Easybib assignment, and I understand the frustration of that. If you're anything like me, you got that 0 and then immediately said, what? Wait, I did everything it said for me to do. That is always my first response. So there is something that's missing. The good news is this is an important part of the foundation of our course. So I am going to allow you to resubmit this correctly. Now let's go through this methodically together so we can figure out where you went wrong and you can make the necessary corrections. Stay with me on this and switch over into I'll just fix this mode and away from that I did everything I was supposed to do. That won't help us learn. So let's do that. Remember in the Easybib instruction pages, I showed you a picture of what a works cited should look like. Now we know that right up here would be your name, course, date, and word count. So that may have been the problem if that wasn't included. Now let's look at the citations themselves. Notice that works cited is works cited, not work cited. It is not underlined, it's not bold, it's not in a fancy font, it's just right there. 2 spaces below, we begin the citations. Notice that we have the last name of the author, a comma, and then the first name of the author. Sometimes I see some problems with people who have centered all of the content somehow. Or we have this vice versa, where we have the name indented and the rest is at the margin. We want to make sure that the name is here on the margin, then a period, then comes the title that we're working with, then is the information about where this came from and when it was published, and then we include the URL. But you'll notice that the URL is not lighted. It's not a live link. We don't ever want a live link in a citation. Now this one is a situation where we're doing the entire website, and this is a like an article, and we're going with the title because multiple people created this. And again, you'll notice that the URL is not lit up. There's no blue underscore, no link. Okay? Now let's say we had something that had multiple authors. Then we simply put the first author and we put at all. Or you can list the authors, but for the purposes of MLA, and again, there are some things in writing that are absolute and some things that have a little bit of a wiggle room. When it comes to citing your sources, the foundational facts that you have used to create your informative essay, your argument essay, your position paper, your master's thesis, your doctoral thesis, your papers for whatever colleges you're going to be taking, you need to document those sources. MLA expects it done in a very specific way. So does APA. But APA is for a different style of citations. And that is APA, and I don't know why people use it, but they do. It's supposed to be for scientific. It stands for the American Psychological Association. MLA is modern language. We are using that because we are teaching at a modern language college, and this is a modern language assignment. Okay, now we've got all of our citations the way we wanted them, and here we are ready to go. How did we get here? How did we get to this point? Well, let's look that over quickly together. I am using Word documents for demonstration. Why? Because Word comes free for all of us who have school logins. When we get to our login account, we click these little buttons and we see there is Word, and we simply click on it, download it, and then you can use Word. So that is why I'm using Word. Let's go over and see what's going on with the citations. I've checked to make sure that everything is included here, and I see that it's correct. Everything's right here at the margin. We don't have any repeats. And now I'm going to export all, and I have a choice. I can do Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Because all of us have access to free Word, I'm going to select Word, and I'm going to export the Works Cited. As you can see, Works Cited downloaded, and now I can open it. And there it is. I want to make sure that I enable editing so that I can make any edits that are necessary. And here I have my finished Works Cited. Works Cited, 2 spaces. The website title or the author title is over here to the left margin, double spaced only, and double spaced there. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into a new Word document. That is where some of the problems come sometimes, because in this process, some of the formatting can get off. So let's try this together. I have a new Word document open, and I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. First, I want you to pay attention to the little tab up here called Layout. All of these should be set at 0. Now I want to go over here and look at went back to Home, the Home tab here, and here are the headings. Now let's paste in that. There it is. It's all perfect, right? Isn't it? No gaps. Okay, let's see what would happen if by chance we pasted it in using one of these things. Instead of normal, we move to something else. Okay, you can see that's still correct under that. Well, let's try it another way. Now you can see with heading 2, it's incorrect. It made it blue. It put everything over here. It single spaced everything. So we know that that's a problem. What's never going to be a problem? Normal. So we might want to have that checked. We do strong. That works, but we want to just make sure that we avoid catastrophe by simply always having normal written. And in any case, we want to make sure that we take time to double check it. No matter what, I'm always going to double check and make sure only 2 spaces. Let's say that somehow it's turned out like this. We're going to go back over here to this little layout problem that can exist. So let's say it did this. Now you got a gap. You see this gap between Works Cited and the first citation? That's where I put that notice gap. And you see the gap repeated here. There's only supposed to be 2 spaces, but you can see what happened. And if we try to put it on auto, it's going to make these gaps. That's auto. So we want to make sure everything is at 0. And then we want to fix this problem by making sure we have only 2 spaces. Okay, and we need to add a space. Now that's all fixed. So this is what it should look like. Make sure that our name, let me just show you this real quick. Okay, so I added my name, course date, word count. It's not in Times New Roman. I don't really worry about this part of it, but we'll go ahead and just do it correctly so that we've done it correctly. And we have all these gaps. So let's go back and see. You can see, look what happened. So we just go down to 0. Now, look how tidy. And then we come down 2 spaces and we have our works cited. So now I want you to carefully look at the submission that you turned in.